It's I think I think we'll just kind of keep things pretty much focused here on the launch of AWRT and what we're doing with the Saitama contest, and some of these things that we're doing promotionally, that I think will help both companies moving forward as we kind of build here. Because as you know, we're holders, and long term here for Saitama. That's why we created the pair on the exchange. So it's a natural fit for us to be able to offer this trillion Saitama package, as a reward for having a little contest and a little bit of fun for the next 30 days. So here's the thing. So regardless of where Saitama, goes from here, and hopefully it goes, back up to the sevens and eights, and regardless of, the market, it's a trillion, not a valuation based, deal. So we're not saying, hey, here's a $30,000, contest award or reward. We're saying here's a trillion tokens. So it's very possible that the end of this month, you wind up with an even more significant holding and even more significant reward, which is awesome. So anyway, Bo, I'll let you explain what the concept is, and then with the caveat that we are definitely going to have a second and third place winner reward as well. That'll be announced in the next couple of days. But we're going to be putting a bunch of these promotional packages and, kind of fun things, together to increase the number of holders of AWRT, and the excitement around AWRT as we launch into two new exchanges. As you know, we did the new contract. We've got, of course, that's verified, and then we've got the other pieces that are falling in line for Amirex, and the other exchanges. So as we build that out, bear in mind AWRT is our utility token in the gaming space and metaverse space, which we are launching into full throttle here. So exciting times ahead. And AWRT is the kind of the lifeblood of that operation, and it will also be spendable inside the NFT exchange. So when we do the new drops and we add the new functionalities to the exchange, AWRT is going to play a whole lot more central role in these new assets that you're able to buy and then also sell. Because the whole point here is to get in line and get the mints and be able to sell some of those on the open market and keep some for yourself for staking and earning, as we build out here, into some of the fun stuff that we're doing. Like, of course, the performance where we're the NFT producer for that movie, and some other movies that'll be coming up here as well. So pretty exciting stuff, and all that will play into our metaverse build and some of our game builds as well. And as you know, we want people to be able to spend AWRT in-game, which is already happening. So you can take a look at testing some of that stuff in the sports book. We're going to be adding, a lot different functionality too. So as we go, so that's a fun part of the project, and I'm not going to bore you with the venture capital side tonight with AWB, but we will be getting into that more on Wednesday for new people. So, Bo, if you wanted to just go over the contest and kind of the thought process on how people can go win a trillion Saitama.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we are going to keep the rules very simple, right? We're going to win. We're putting up a trillion Saitama. First thing you have to do is join AWB. Second thing you have to do is sign up for an affiliate or as an affiliate. And the person who brings in the most sales for the month will win what we're going to call the White Rabbit of Diamonds NFT, and that is going to for the first month, the prize for holding the White diamond of rabbits, you're going to end up with a trillion Saitama. Every month thereafter, we're going to come out with a different prize for kind of different incentives based around the white rabbit. So the white rabbit of diamonds is whoever brings in the most sales. The hearts will be the one who brings in the most, likes, etc. on social media, and we'll come up with the different metrics for that. And then clubs is whoever attracts the most club members. We obviously we're missing a suit there, and we're coming up with those rules as we go. So really, that's what it is. It's very simple. It's very straightforward. If you want to win a trillion Saitama, you just have to become an affiliate and drive sales. If you do that, you can end up with a trillion. And something somebody mentioned earlier in the day is, if you shave a zero, all of a sudden that number becomes really significant. Not that it's not significant today, but I mean, if you start shaving zeros off Saitama, it becomes, really exciting.
Yeah, I think so too. And of course, that's one of the things to bear in mind too, is that again, we're paired with Saitama on our own exchange. So, we're buyers on that front, as well. So if you want to swap AWRT for Saitama and vice versa, back and forth, that's a fun thing you can try to do on the exchange too. So, the tools for this are all laid out right in front of you. One of the things Bo didn't mention is that, part of our crypto lifestyle of the club, the whole point here is to help people earn money in crypto, right? So the affiliate play is actually lined up so that you get 10% of everything you sell anyway. So on top of the Saitama that you're getting, the trillion Saitama, you're getting 10% of everything that you sell. So if you win this by being the person who recommends, or whose link is filed the most and has the most referrals, who buy, let's just say for argument's sake, they buy, $500,000 worth of AWRT, your 10% is 50 grand. So it's not just what you're making on the Saitama, trillion. It's what you're making through the referrals that you're going and getting that link, and driving people to participate in the future of what we're building here in the club and the metaverse and so forth. So lots of ways to earn, and then there's the 5% of on that front too, of whoever the other people that you recommend. If they have somebody else sign up, and they did it under networking, then you get, I think, 5% of that. So I think it goes 2 levels deep.
Yeah, it's 2 levels deep now, and it also includes your own purchases, right? The 10% you get to apply that to your own purchase, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So you're your own referral then at that point.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, that people have done that in the past and won things as well. So yeah, I mean, it's you get you can either use that as a discount, just because you want to be you want to be loading up on AWRT as we build out here and as things get exciting, or you can use it as straight up income. So it's exciting. And here's the other thing too, is something that's different about our club. Again, we want to be able to facilitate a lifestyle, decentralized, um, you know, uh, experience as we move forward here. And one of the things that we do that's different, I think, from everybody else, is that when we do pay out affiliates this 10%, we pay that in USDT. So bear that in mind. I mean, it's true income. It's not. We're not saying here's even more AWRT, to earn, which we do think, of course, it's a worthwhile, product to go out and buy because of its utility and what we're building. And of course, you can't be in our head to see all the great stuff that we have planned, but and we try to relay it. But you don't even have to, completely rely on the future of, just AWRT either. I mean, you get paid for doing the work. I mean, being an affiliate, you make actual USDT payments. We're not, I think most, most comparable clubs out there, or projects even, who have affiliate, programs, they're paying you, like even some staking programs. there, it's only your only choice is to get paid in, in like kind. You're basically only being able to get paid in the actual token that you're staking, or the some type of a NFT. You get paid in the project tokens. But for us, there's lots of different options, and some of those options involve being paid straight up in USDT, which that's I think unique. And I don't know that a lot of people understand quite how unique that is, but it is a cool function of the club, and it's a real way for you to earn and enjoy the crypto lifestyle and get out of kind of the rat race of
Also,
of
right? That's limitless. That's limitless, right? We're not saying up to $5,000 a month, or up to $50,000 or $500,000. You can set your own ticket.
Yeah, no question about it. So yeah, if you want to go earn $1 million, go ahead. That's it's really the sky's the limit, because if you have different marketing ideas, and a lot of people do. I mean, we're wide open to people giving us suggestions, so we get a lot of them. You're welcome to go and launch your own marketing concept, and drive business however you see fit. You get that affiliate link, you get people to follow it, and buy. And it's not just, if say they come and say you recommend somebody from a blog that you have, or or a live that you did, and they come and they say, well, hey, I like AWRT, but I'm not into metaverse and I'm not into games. I get the utility, but I am into venture capital, and I would love to get these, dividends on a monthly basis that are coming out. And I'm interested in what AWB and FOTC are investing in. So I'm down with that. You get that 10% of that too. So anything they come in that's a club, product that they buy, you make that money. So it's a great opportunity, and it's one of the things that we keep promising we're going to focus more on, is getting real solid affiliate managers to be able to send you more tools, and advertising to go out and drive traffic with that. But also, I think that just the incentive itself should inspire people to create their own tools a little bit. I mean, for the people who are on these AMAs all the time, who understand the vision, go ahead and apply it, because, again, understand, like when we did for example, when we did the, we one of the things we did on the venture cap side as part of the club is, we decided to fund the post production of the performance, right? And for that, instead of taking an executive producer credit, we decided to take the NFT producer credit. But that is a project that was recommended by a club member, and that club member is making a significant percentage of that deal, and has gotten paid well, by the club.
Yeah, that's an interesting distinction. When we're talking about affiliate marketing, this isn't stuff we're not out there trying to sell Mary Kay, or getting people to host parties or something. This is real deals. Maybe affiliate marketing is even the wrong name because the connotations for it, but it's the first kind of term that comes to mind. But really, at the end of the day, in our world, deals don't get done unless commissions get paid, right? So people saying, hey, I want to recommend things to you, and this is happening more and more frequently. Matter of fact, Alfonso had mentioned something earlier about the metaverse. We've got something going on right now that we should be able to announce by the end of this week, that I think is going to blow people's minds, as far as the clubhouse development, some of the things that we're doing there. And I really do believe that, and that came from a recommendation from somebody in the club. I'd never heard of this person before, and now all of a sudden we're in business.
Yeah, and so they'll be compensated for that. So yeah, and I think you're right, Bill. I think, can you kill whatever it is, Bill?
We've been told if anybody approaches it, do not comply.
I think it's
don't give ideas. Don't
this.
give it.
Yeah, hang on.
Anyway, so so the net there is, there's plenty of opportunity to earn, and you're right, it shouldn't be called, it shouldn't really, I think affiliate marketing has a negative connotation to it, because people think, oh well, you're just kind of, it sounds like promotional, overly promotional or something, and like you said, it sounds Mary Kay-ish or something. Not that there's anything wrong with those businesses, like companies out there, like,
Yeah, no, they've only made billions.
I know, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that at all. I'm just saying, and the upside there could be huge, but what we're doing is like literally, we're paying for, for deals. We're paying for projects that, if you recommend a project that we do, and it's $1 million deal that we fund, you can earn $50,000, $100,000 for the finder's fee. It's really a finder's fee, is what it is. So it's almost like a headhunters or a bounty, that we're paying for great projects, stuff that we do on a daily basis, and we would love for the club to recommend it. Now, that crypto lifestyle, we're calling it an affiliate, but that's, just because that's what the text called, right? So you get that affiliate link, you go out there and recommend somebody, or you send somebody, or you recommend a project, we'll pay you. So that's the net. So here you can earn the trillion Saitama by using your affiliate link to send over the most number of people, or the most sales in AWRT, that get made,
Good.
and yeah.
Yeah. Good questions coming in here. Of course, we're going to put out a blog post that'll spell it out, but it really is going to be like a 1, 2, 3, fairly simple way to learn and do it. Are NFT sales going to count as well? I think that's a good question.
Yeah, NFT sales count. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Yep, absolutely. And there's going to be an
Okay.
admin. There'll be an admin for registration of the people that you recommend to, because sometimes uh, the referral link or something, people might purchase things outside the scope, or you might recommend somebody who, we have to log in the back office, which is fine. That's not a problem either. So, but we'll be explaining all that. It'll come out, like, you can start out the gate, but we'll be explaining all that, and there'll be a detailed blog that goes over all that.
So I think what we should do to keep this running civil is start on the 1st and end midnight on the 28th, and that way everybody's off to the same race, right? Which that's tomorrow, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so all that stuff will be posted, and it'll be off to the races. And of course, we have the final, where it's, we've got the final say as to who wins this thing, because some of the things that, again, we have a lot of amateur detectives and so forth in the in our midst that, like, follow wallets and do different things and so forth, but we see completely what happens on our site, and so forth, so we could see it. And then also, bear in mind, some people are calling and saying, hey, this guy is going to buy X, Y, and Z, or this is a project that we want to do. And so anyway, so net is we record all that stuff, in the back office, in sometimes different ways, but it's going to be fun. And, and one thing that we guarantee is going to happen is that, a trillion Saitama is going to go into somebody's hands who's a grinder, who's going to work and recommend people, go and make an impact. And, it's exciting, so, anyway, so I think you'll be pleasantly surprised
So
as to what the upside can wind up being, because I also think Tom is going to go up. So that's that's the other piece of it. Like, we're fans of the project, as you all know, and that's why we have so much of it, and we continue to get more. So
okay,
anyway.
so any sales for any NFT token, etc. Although it has come up that since AWRT is now in third-party exchanges, we probably ought to be, or are we excluding that token?
No, well, you can. So we'll also be able to track. We can also track purchases, of course, on our own exchange. We can track. So there's ways that we have to track it. That's what I was saying about registering through the admin. So if we get a new buyer or something along those lines. We'll explain it in the blog tomorrow. But yeah, for sure. Anything that they buy, like, so, you're recommending if you're driving people, to the deal. Now, of course, we're interested in driving the value of AWRT, and that's the big push here, because that's our, that's kind of like our, our, what do you want to call that, Bo? Like, that's
Initiative. That's the initiative.
yeah, that's right now, that's the current initiative. And and that's and of course, that's the one that's going on to the new exchanges, right? So everything else right now is still in its upward phase, and this one's, this one is like off on its own, right? So, we're going to be on the Emirex. We've got new exchanges on the horizon, so the goal here now is to go from our founders club level members all the way to, tens of thousands of holders. So
Absolutely.
that's what that's the target is.
On tracking in the other exchanges, did you say that this is going to count in sales and other exchanges? We're going to be able to track that if somebody's signed up?
So we'll explain that. If they're, so, and I gotta get the details, but if they're willing to, if the people who you have signed up are willing to let us know what their wallet address is, then yes. If some people are pretty, pretty, open about stuff like that. I mean, of course, it is all on the blockchain, so. But yeah, so if they're willing to put the wallet address in the in the back office, then we will be able to track that. Yeah. Then we can confirm it too, so.
And sometimes those confirmations agree with the initial assessment from what I'm told, and sometimes they don't.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Anyway.
But I mean, I think you can see, the upside is pretty huge. So it's it's worth the exercise. The other thing is, again, too, there's a second prize and a third prize, which we'll announce tomorrow too. And those may be something that are, not open, exchange based. It might be just pure number sign up, or it's a little bit different function. But we'll have some other rewards that will be available. Pretty much. I think we're going to try to keep this theme, initially Saitama based, because we have a lot of fans, of Saitama that are in our midst, and we've got a lot of people, outside the box, there that, of course, we want to make sure that everybody understands that we're all rowing in the same direction. So,
yeah, and we have, we do have some other programs that we're going to talk about here later in the week, as far as the trip to Dubai, to the show. I know there's a lot of people on here for the first time tonight. I don't know if we want to just touch on that real quick, or we want to leave that to Wednesday.
Yeah, let's leave it till Wednesday. We've got a lot of contests coming up to drive, sales and promotion. So there's going to be a lot of tools there for you to be able to drive interest. And one of them is a trip to Dubai, to the conference, which we'll be participating in. And that package will be announced formally here this week. So, and so will the terms for winning. So that's an exciting thing that you can use as a tool to get people in to win your, Saitama too. And then, of course, we're going to do stuff like this a lot, right? Like, we're talking to some projects that have, some really cool giveaway, platforms and stuff for NFTs that, with just fantastic artists, and great product that we want to do collabs with, and, that we're working on as we speak.
Well, and let's not forget, Mario stepped up and has said that he's going to do the ultimate fire your landlord and give away a house or three.
Yeah,
I know we're still hammering that out, but could be up to 3 houses U.S. Housing Exchange is willing to give away between Texas and Atlanta.
Yep, true. And then we've got GiveBucks, which is only just begun, right? So that's another great project that has a lot of stuff planned, as well from in that front. So yeah, lots of stuff.
So we've got a question. Seems like AWRT website had a small burn rate shown in the tokenomics, which is no longer there. Has the burn mechanism changed? Is there a burn wallet?
There is a burn wallet, but right now it's collecting old AWRT, and the net there is, because of the new way that this contract was built, it actually went from burn to liquidity pool instead. There was some pushback from the exchanges. A lot of the changes that we made, by the way, were recommended by some of the best, kind of professionals in the space, involved with some of the exchanges that we're getting on, and that's why we did it. Part of the reason why we did it, and what we're left with is a really advanced and scalable contract that'll take us into the future. And so we're really excited about that. And everything that we put in there as far as the changes and so forth, we're done at basically recommended by those really high end professionals. So we didn't just do this in our basement. So so just so everybody is aware, it was all done for a reason. But the net of it is that it actually has really solidified everything that we want to do from a metaverse standpoint, and the future, the spendability and everything else that we're planning. So it's I think the net of it is great. We've also improved everybody's position significantly through some of the negotiations that we were doing, even prior to that. So now we'll be able to burn, like we said, somewhere in that 100 billion range, which we're targeting for. When were we going to do that, Bo? Was that Friday?
Friday, we're going to do the Burning Man party.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, so we'll do that. But right now we're getting people to swap. So please send in your old AWRT, so we can just kind of clean up the universe. The liquidity pool is pulled on the AWRT anyway, and it no longer exists even on our own exchange. So
To
the only place
clarify,
to really put it
on the 8.0, the 9.0, it's all there.
Right. So now everything that's in the AWC exchange is 9.0, right? So that's the 9 decimal new contract, and it is the one that's verified, and it is the active liquidity pool on Uniswap. So all that is in place, and now anybody who sends us, this this old token to burn, because I know sometimes people are like, well, I don't, I'll do it when I get around to it. It helps us if you do it sooner, because it improves our security score as we go onto these other exchanges, and it also it will be compensated, right? So we've come up with a mechanism where you'll get a founders level weighted and numbered NFT for doing it. So that's how basically that's how we're going to rank your AWRT is by part of what you've delivered into the burn wallet. So make sure you do it, please. And we may come up with some other incentives as well for everybody who did it. So we like rewards, and so we will probably compensate you guys, and that's something that'll come out this week as well. So I realize there's an ETH spend to do that, and it's something that's a little bit of a pain in the butt. Of course, one of the things to remember is that if you move this AWRT back and forth inside of our own exchange, between wallets, there's no fee peer to peer inside the AWC exchange. So that's something to bear in mind. And everybody who had their AWRT inside of our own exchange, everything was seamless. So that's just, something to bear in mind. Of course, for the dividends for AWB, for those rewards, when the new tokens come out, the new project tokens, that has to be in the exchange in order for you to receive them, because you get the new rewards based on the number of AWB you hold. That's how how you get those distributions. So
will AWRT pricing be updated to buy in the AWC store for fiat and crypto?
no, AWRT.
Yeah, that's the question.
No,
Gotcha.
no, I don't think so. So yeah, so we'll explain all that as well. But now we're out there on Uniswap. We've got a Mirex, coming in as well. So like when these things go out, they're there's that's that. Like that, like you want to buy these tokens prior to the launch. So that's why we do the friends and family round where you can get the 30% discount, which of course, if you're buying that with the, with your affiliate link, you're getting another 10 on top of that. So you're getting massive discounts, at that level. And then we move on to the onward level, and that's a 20% discount. And if you missed it, then you can still buy it in the upward. That's a 10% discount. And at each one of these levels, we're keeping track of the cost basis and the interested parties, but also it helps us because there's development going on in those projects as we move into those levels. So once it actually launches, then obviously we're not going to give discounts and sell privately in the store. So you're in the open market at that point, and that's how we go. Now that being said, you can still win AWRT peer to peer inside of the games, and there's different ways to be able to pull down AWRT in those games, but that's at market, right? So that stuff will be available at market. And
So,
again, it's spendable, so you'll be able to actually spend AWRT for different things like, the NFTs, for example, and you'll be able to use it for staking and so forth.
well, I don't know if you're reading the comments as they were coming in, but you hit that one perfect. Will we be able to swap AWRT for Saitama in the future, or in the exchange in the future? You can.
Yeah. And we'll be able to get our own reflections in the exchange. We've had a trouble with Saitama's reflections, and that's part of the, that has been part of the holdup why we haven't really gone full boat. But yeah, absolutely. They're paired on the exchange, and you can swap. Sure.
All right. Any updates on Mad Hatter staking and when the staking account tracker will start for those who have already purchased NFTs for staking?
That's a tech question. So let me, we'll write that one down and answer that, sometime tomorrow. We'll just make sure that there's a blog or something that goes out. But just know that when you do stake, just because you didn't get the tracker doesn't mean we don't know when you put into stake, because I'm sure it's accruing. There might be a little glitch with with our tech, but we'll get back to you on that one sometime tomorrow.
Yeah, there was a whole Star Wars dedicated to when the bots revolt, right? When they don't do what they're told.
Well, we do, and there's other, like, just so everybody knows, we have an entire full plan for you can see the new website and everything for AWRT. I think everybody, there's people that was well received, and I think people are pretty excited about that. And as we go here, all the tech is updating and all the look and feel and so forth. So, so all that's being worked on, in between launches and new code and the poker and blackjack peer-to-peer stuff that's being launched. So lots of stuff. NFT exchanges completing. This is all just stuff in the last week, right? So the NFT, you can go on mint now on the exchange, and all the new drops are going to be on there. We just got a new download of a massive amount of production art for performance. So we'll be explaining how you can participate in that, which is a great artistic film, by the way. It's a really exciting film. I mean, I don't know how many people like Jeremy Piven. I'm a Piven fan from old school, so I'm not exactly on the art side of it, but
All right, Dean Pritchard.
Jeez. Anyway, so that's a bit that's about it. I think we really wanted to just get out there and explain how this how this opportunity to win a trillion Saitama is going to roll out, and we will put all that in writing so that you can just go down through the 1, 2, 3. How do I do this? That'll be in a blog so that you can get started tomorrow.
From the store, is there a timeline deadline on pulling AWRT out of the store now that it's live on other exchanges?
Yeah. So I think that's happening. Kind of as we speak. I don't know if I haven't looked, but that's one of the things that's on the agenda here. So of course, I think it's already set at market anyway, but that's
Well, it looks like somebody commented. It looks like maybe there's an older package out there, so that'll get squared away.
yeah. Well, it is. We have bandwidth issues. We only have so many techs. But they're running around right now, making sure reflections worked and everything else. So that's one good thing. With our little early mess up, we did the initial distribution. First of all, like, people didn't respond fast enough with delivering their stuff to the burn wallet. So for old AWRT, so we didn't have enough for the batches. We didn't have enough people for the batches for airdrop. So we had to do that a different way. And then their initial send came 5% light because of the reflections, right? And not just that, but also the rest of the tokenomics, right? We have the 2% charity, which is one of the main important thrusts of our entire club, is what we do on the charitable side, right? And so forth. But the good news is all that functionality worked perfect, and we got to test it out, in your delivery. So I think everybody should have their other 5% now, and that issue is corrected. So
relative to burns, and I'm going to combine two questions here because that's how I'm feeling. Will we be doing burns regularly and manually, so we have a deflationary mechanism? And then when we choose to use AWRT to purchase things in the metaverse, where do those AWRT go? Is there tax structure for those, and how does it supply? So we've talked about that in the past, about AWRT that gets spent. There's a portion of that can be staked, that can go to the stakeholder. There's a portion that we may choose to burn. And then there was some discussion about going and funding a charity wallet with the spent AWRT.
You're talking about on the gambling side, on the peer-to-peer betting side. If people lose, that type of thing. Yeah. So I think we should probably do like a full-on explanation on the AWRT site, when we get into metaverse. Probably put that onto the white paper. That makes the most sense, right? And then we'll do a blog post on how all that'll work, because that it does get a little complicated, because there's a lot of stuff you could do, as that stuff circulates. But of course, one of the things that I'd say about the burn is that I have more of a concern with running out than I do with with eliminating it, because I think you need to, just the vastness of the opportunities inside the NFT side and inside the metaverse side. I think you have to, kind of just open up your mind, relative to what the utility really, really is. because as we build out this metaverse, we plan to have, land lots, for example. There's going to be buildings, there's going to be cars, there's going to be characters and people built around the Mad Hatter society concept. And inside of all of that functionality, there's also games. So there's the things like Amiga games, with the 100+ that we have licensed, where you'll be able to go into the Amiga arcade, play tournaments and so forth and so on. And in order to participate in all that stuff, you have to have AWRT to power it, right? So, if it's not available because we're burning it all the time, that becomes a problem in liquidity. And also, when it comes to taking your NFTs and your packages, if you look at some of the other projects that are out there, like some of the projects we're involved in as a club, are pretty cutting edge, right? Like Neo Tokyo, for example, where we have a significant investment. They have some really unique ways of combining their characters with a vault, along with other requirements that then get staked, and once that stuff, is put together, then it earns, right? And it earns the crypto, and for us, when we would put things together, metaverse wise, relative to, owning your land and owning your character and so forth, the way that you'll be able to earn and what you'll earn is AWRT. So there's an entire purpose of what we're doing, and then there's the business purpose and the venture capital side of things, and that lends itself to what we're doing in Overland, which is another metaverse project. And Overland is more of a mixed reality, AR reality, or augmented reality play, where you're able to actually really combine more business use case, with the metaverse build. So, like for us, for example, HQ Express is a geolocated overland build that also includes real live industrial flex space in warehousing. So you'll be able to geolocate cubic square feet and rent cubic square feet on a flex basis, not just seeing it inside of a metaverse platform and being able to use that metaverse platform in a real business use case, but also in the real world. Like if you have a boat to store, for example, or if you have you might have a coffee maker business that has, a need for, for warehouse space, only over the holidays. These business use cases play into the metaverse, and that's our real ultimate, utility, right? And that's what we do, right? So it's not just the rehab of the warehouse, the acquisition of the real estate, the actual venture capital work that we're doing in the build of HQ Express, which is, that's one of the next things that come out for you as a reward for holding AWB, along with Velocity. But these things all play into the metaverse, and in that metaverse, AWRT is the utility or the gas that is going to give you the ability to play in that space, right? So anyway, so we don't want to go around burning all of it. Like that's my whole point here is I guess what I'm saying is, yeah, if all we were going to do is have a token, and worry about oh man, who's, if that was it, if it was just a meme coin, yeah, I'd worry a lot about all that stuff. But we have actual utility and real things we're building, because we're VC at the end of the day. I mean, this is, all of this has business use case, not just, we're not just making up use case. So anyway, yeah, I appreciate the question.
Switching gears here for a second. When for captain staking, is there a limited amount of NFTs? Also, are those limited time only?
Yeah, it's all, so everything that you see is always limited time only. And the captain, side of things is definitely limited. So we consider that really our Genesis NFTs, and it's going to have those particular NFTs are going to have a lot of different benefits inside the club. and inside our metaverse build. So you'll be able to earn and do different things and combine with different assets, metaverse assets, to really ramp up your rarity and ramp up, some of the things like your whitelist placement and stuff like that for drops, right? So lots of different ways to earn coming up in the future, and all of these major token or NFTs that are being released now are going to be a big part of that. The other thing is just the straight up earn, right? Like that captain's level Genesis NFT allows you to pair with FOTC, which is our high risk, high yield, token, and that actually pays out on a monthly basis in USDT. So that's real income producing, asset level there. So that is rare, and that's something that will be limited time only. And the concept there is that no matter what, that NFT will be able to be paired with different assets of the club or different products inside the club in different scenarios that will give it that type of an earn and spend. So if someone wants to sell that NFT in the future, it'll transfer with the ability to get that 7.5% if it wanted to pair with FOTC, for example. So we're creating a secondary market, value for the NFT and a different way for you to be able to earn. So, like, let's just say you were out there and you want to try to, oh, well, look, I'm going to be leaving the club, where I found a new project that I want to participate in, and I'm waiting for someone to make me an offer on AWB. Well, you could always stake your AWB, for example. In the meantime, increase its value as you go. There's different things you can do, or if you want to, sell the NFT that you just minted, you can put that on the NFT exchange, and wait for someone to participate. Wait for somebody else to buy it. The whole idea here is to create, secondary markets, and so forth for the NFT asset. So.
All right. So when swapping between club tokens, is it better to go through concierge or the exchange?
When swapping between club tokens, that's a good question, and I think what you would want to do is go through concierge. So also, like, one of the other things too, like, to remember is you can, like, if you have a full package or something like that and you wanted to move out of something, like, we also have the auction, which we're going to be ramping up too. So you can always list packages and stuff like that for sale if you got, like, hey, I've got one of each, because it's going to become valuable to have multiple club assets, because it'll give you kind of a ranking ability for new releases. That's something that's coming up in the future. But anyway, for swaps or anything complicated like that, just get in touch with concierge. And if you have anything that's not technical, that's more business oriented, you feel free to use the concierge at .com instead of .net, and we get that at the exec level to be able to deal with that. So.
Okay. So give me 1 second. There's a series of questions here. Okay, so there's a complicated tie-in to AWC and AWB with memberships and members selling. I honestly don't have a clue which one would be selling. Auctions plus a store to buy AWRT with the discount would be great to have a high-level overview and summarize. Sounds like the how the club ties in with AWB is the question there. And then there's a few follow-up questions there as well. So,
how the club ties into AWB?
Correct.
Well, why don't we do this? Why don't we go over? We'll do like a full club rundown for people and probably tape it. That makes sense, Bo. Like maybe
Yeah.
tomorrow or the next
Yeah, we
day,
can do that.
something like that. And that way we can put that more like in a video, because we have so many people on the call, I'm sure, that are tired of hearing us talk about like all of the native tokens, because we've kind of done that ad nauseum. But from a 50,000 foot level, in order to receive your dividends of and your discount for new projects, you've got to be a VIP member, you know, and that's the value of the club. So the value of the club is you get new offers, you know, early, you get discounts, you get you get all of that. Kind of the new issuance, you know, type of stuff. So you can get in at the earliest and least expensive level, but that doesn't mean you can't still participate if you're not a VIP member in the retail level. So there's different, you know, it's a different store level basically, and then you know, as far as AWB goes itself, you know, by having AWB in your Active World Club Exchange wallet, you're able to receive those new token issuances, basically relative to the number of AWB you hold. So if you hold, for example, 100,000 AWB, and we then do like the last release, for example, of GiveBucks and USHX, I think that did they both come out at Trip One? Is that what they were at? I don't remember.
Yeah, I believe so.
I think they both came out at Trip One, and you know, it was a 2,000 for one issuance. So for every one AWB you hold, you got 2,000 of the new issuance, and they come out with 1 trillion total tokens, right? And the other thing to remember about AWB is that it's really like our core kind of cornerstone asset for the club. So people who are interested in all the VC stuff that we're doing in the future, who want to have new tokens, you know, as soon as they're issued for nothing more than owning AWB and holding it, then, you know, that's why, you know, basically, you know, that's the reason why you hold AWB is for the future projects, you know, so that you get that 2,000 for one distribution. And then, you know, for the most part, those projects, when they come into play, have their own, you know, external management team, usually that we're invested in, you know, to some degree, and you know, are interested in the future of that company in and of itself. So the utility token that's created there, you know, the concept is that it goes up through the stages of our club, you know, in its incubation phase, and then spins out like AWRT. Right. So the goal eventually for GiveBucks, for example, aside from that company being public and so forth, the goal for GiveBucks, as far as the GiveBucks rewards token goes, is that will also move out and through the exchange level launch, you know, that you're seeing AWRT go through now, and you know, the concept there is obviously, you know, building the tech behind it as we go, and as far as our venture cap work goes, we're a time to market investor. That's how we operate always. That means we're not doing anything from scratch. These are companies that already have their technology developed to the point that it can be marketed, and we're just giving it the final push. Even with the performance, you know, we did that deal not from the very beginning to launch the movie. We did it when it was done, you know, to handle post production. You know, so by doing that, we eliminate a lot of risk, and we actually maximize our upside, because, you know, sometimes these companies and these projects need that last push, and sometimes the last money is the most important money because it's what finishes it, right? So there's a lot we can do on that front to, you know, really enhance the value, you know, in the club, and you know, enhance, you know, the value of the projects we bring you, and you know, and so the idea here is, you know, everything that we do, like GiveBucks, for example, and what they're doing and their spendability. Of course, you know, that wallet, you know, and that you know, digital spend, you know, I mean, man, you can go spend GiveBucks at Cheesecake Factory, you know, I mean, it's really cool. The technology's, really neat,
You
so.
you can spend give bucks, but this came up earlier. But give bucks and bucks are different animals. Right?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are, but we're in the process of creating mechanisms to be able to cash out from one to the other, right?
Correct.
So, and then the other side of that is give bucks are is what you'll be able to win, for behavioral, things inside of games and, stuff like that. So, we have, there's a whole game plan there, relative to, to that launch. Anyway, that's a digression. The whole point here is that you get great projects like that because you hold AWB, and there's only 40 million, AWB, and there only ever will be. That's why it's the cornerstone asset of what we're doing.
Yeah. Okay. So this also came up earlier today. Would really appreciate seeing more about the devs on the website. Alfonso, you can jump into that. Being decentralized, but there were some comments about even if it goes in that direction, and obviously it's club coin, it'd still be nice to see a face of who's talking.
Yeah, it's not if it'll go in that direction, it's gonna go in that direction. And we'll start to do some, you want to see faces, where we actually have all kinds of cool podcast stuff. So we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. And yeah, we'll put our CVs and that type of thing out there. So you guys can, I mean, if that's what you're interested in, or we'll hire some really kick-ass CEO for you or something. I don't know. Ours probably aren't
Or at
good
least
enough.
somebody better looking.
Get some better looking guys. Maybe Piven can come over after we're done selling the hell out of the performance and stuff, and he can. Yeah.
Are there examples of charities that we've given to? Yeah. So prior to like Alfonso said, time to market. We actually helped the club helped complete a 50 patient outpatient hospital and dental clinic in India, where now people are being treated, mostly women, for OBGYN needs in rural areas in India. That is a rarity. And in fact, almost never happens. Having been there myself, I was once in a leper colony in India, and leprosy is something that you can cure with one dose of penicillin, and it just goes away. From what my doctor friends told me when I asked them if it was okay to go to a leper colony. For all you other doctors on the line, I hope what they told me was true. But the whole point of that dental, or the outpatient hospital and dental clinic, is to treat people with all sort of ailments, and that's something that the club stepped up and finished. And that's something that we're very proud of, and very proud to have been a part of. The water project, the Agua de Vida project in Venezuela, we started and finished that project. Now there's been other, like 16 churches that have stepped up and asked us to help them out with their issue. Venezuela went from being one of the wealthiest, if not the wealthiest country in South America, to now, on Margarita Island, they only turn the water on every 30 to 60 days, whenever the government feels like they should. And as a result, like hepatitis A and all kinds of problems are coming through the water lines, and people are getting sick. And so we decided to build a clean water treatment plant, or water treatment plant there for people to come and be able to get water. And then, of course, the Hamptons Internet Cafe is our partner in Kenya, to help people who need to get to an internet cafe in order to do things like write resumes and print things out, and get Wi-Fi, and do things that, frankly, we've taken advantage of for a long time here, and probably take for granted. Still, in developing countries, those services are kind of a must, and so we stepped up as a club and also did that one start to finish. And it's really incredible to see what's happening there, because you're talking about an area that didn't have this within a month. It's up and going. The project is completely self-sustaining, and not just that, growing. I mean, across those three projects, what gets me happy as much as people being taken care of and things, is that we're really changing an area generationally. People, with access to clean water, and their families with access to clean water, people with access to medicines, et cetera, and then access to technology, allows there to be a generational impact for the regions that we're investing in, and it's something that, like I said, I'm really proud of the club, and I'm proud of everybody on here for being a part of. And we can get into all that too. And I think it is something that we probably should do a better job at. We'll connect links, I think, back to some of these things so people can see what they've done and see what they're a part of. Because it's important. It's important stuff.
In my, it's the most important part of the club, and honestly, we're one of the things too that I think you only just briefly touched on in this description is that you can kind of tell that what we're interested in is really really making a direct impact. So we're not just giving to a general charity, right? And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with giving to Red Cross or giving to like a major charity, but we know enough pastors and there's a true Christian base in this club of thousands and thousands of churches that we have true access to real missions all over the world. And it's a great opportunity to know and get to see and get to watch this stuff actually get deployed and get built, and on the ground in the town that needs it that day. Not something that's like, hey, if you give it here, once it trickles down through all the executives, we'll give some pennies eventually in this general direction. Like that's
every dollar that we sewed into those projects went directly to those projects in
a lot immediately,
100.
immediately, especially in Agua de Vida. That's something that's like amazing to me, how fast. Like, we should post up the pictures, like, in the videos. If we got new updates, we got to get better at that. And we are merging like our media, our .media site, merging that in with, everything else that we're doing, so people can kind of see, some of those YouTube posts and stuff. But we should put that up on YouTube or somewhere, that everybody can see updates weekly, and stuff. Because, that's phenomenal. And I know we have a project that one of our club members brought us in Guatemala that we want to do. There's just great stuff, and we're always open to new charitable opportunities. And by the way, that's the whole point of GiveBucks, right? GiveBucks is, you go out, you use your digital wallet to eat at Applebee's, and a portion of that, by design, goes to the charity that you choose on that digital platform, and they get paid.
And that's a great feature. It's not like, it goes into, like you said, some general charity fund or something. You say, look, I want this to go to Agua de Vida in Venezuela. I want this to go to, the Leukemia Center in Pennsylvania. I want this to go to wherever. You make that determination, and when the time comes for payout, they get paid.
Yeah, you can recommend whatever charity it is that you want to put on there. So, if you're running a nonprofit, or of a nonprofit that you're like, hey, it's easier to do tithing this way. Just every time you're going to spend, you don't even have to think about it. I already know 10%'s going, over here, and it's just a given. I'm going to use this when I go to CVS, which I think Missy tested it in CVS, the other day. And,
we've used it a couple times. It works great. It's a little like any new tech, you have to maybe explain to somebody at the cashier, but what they do is, if a place, if they take digital pay, Apple Pay, it's much simpler. If they don't, you just have to basically walk somebody through one or two steps, and you get to pay with a QR code, basically like a coupon. And the vendor gets paid the next day. They get to participate in the charity as well. They don't have to pay the merchant processing fees, which, in case nobody on here has ever run a small business, those things are killer.
Yeah, exactly. So again, it's not on the credit card rails. It's on the coupon and rewards rails. So, it's a great way to pay. And the functionality for crypto is great too. You can go on to GiveBucks and use GiveBucks to buy our tokens, right? And to buy GiveBucks and AWRT and so forth, right? So, anyway, well, this is getting really long. So
yeah, for the short
I
1
thought there was gonna
trillion
be 20 minutes.
Saitama giveaway, we
Yeah,
got deep in the woods.
Yeah, I wanted to make it 20 minutes and just explain that, hey, we're going to give people $1 trillion, Saitama for, for stepping up and, and recommending people to the club. But that is how simple it is, though. I mean, just, sign up to the affiliate. We're going to post it. So you have a 1, 2, 3, how to do it. But, sign up, become an affiliate, recommend people, whoever recommends the most buying, in the end of 30 days wins $1 trillion. Right, Saitama. So exciting, and we're going to have second prizes, third prizes, and we look to do even more here, over the next few days with different ways to participate in different contests. So,
all right. The one last question that I do want to ask here is the Amigo Retro Games. Any estimations on how far out that might be, and is there a list of games that you'll be launching?
well,
So the second part is yes, that we can repost that here in the Discord. And the first part, I think we actually have one of the games ready to go. Right? I know they've been testing it.
We're testing Shadow Fighter. Right. That's because we wanted to pick one that we could have a tournament for as a club, and even drive some outside challengers and so forth. And have a real situation where we can win AWRT or win some some cool prizes. So we're doing that, and but Shadow Fighter is the one that the techs are working on now.
And in case you don't know, Shadow Fighter, back in the day, these guys, they could come awfully close to just like a frame by frame remake of the game, and maybe people are just cooler back then. But Shadow Fighter is an awful lot like Street Fighter. Yeah, I mean, I'll leave it there. It's an awful lot like Street Fighter. And if you've never heard of the Guyana sisters, it's an awful lot like Mario Brothers, and that's something that we've got as well. So we'll be putting more information out there on that stuff.
Yeah, so it'll be fun. And what we were looking to do is maybe drop it into the sandbox assets that we have. So we have, we're involved in a lot of different metaverse stuff. And maybe one of these days we'll do a podcast or we'll do something for the club to, kind of bring everybody up to speed on what we're doing. But we're deep into Neo Tokyo. We're into Wilder World. We're into Sandbox, of course. And Overland in a big way, because we explained before about its business use case. There's a lot of stuff that we're planning on doing with this tech, and it's not just all club centric. It's out there in other projects, and that's collabs and all that work is what we're planning on doing. So we've got some great calls this week with some real cool projects that club members have recommended to us. Hey, you need to talk to these devs, you need to talk to these executives, because we'd love to see a partnership here, we'd love to see a deal here. So we're doing that work too. That's actually the core work that we do.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks that that these that the trading is what we focus on, but it really isn't. It's really developing the business, because I think the rest is going to follow.
Yeah, well, it will. And I'm being told that Shadow Fighter should be out this week, and AWRT is now removed from ActiveWorld.net and MadHatterSociety.com stores. So both those things got fixed in real time while we were on the line.
Thanks for the heads up. Well, we were busy. We were busy with new contracts and releases and exchanges, and making sure that everything was verified and all that for you. So, and at the same time, putting a great contest together and giving you an opportunity to win $1 trillion Saitama, and there will be more to follow. So it'll be a great opportunity. This is really long, so we gotta jump, and we will circle back around. We'll do a video of the. Didn't we pay someone to do a video, Bo, for the
for the explanation, or for just the overview of the club?
We have a ton of videos coming for you, so let's circle back around, find all those, and let's get all that done. So
you know what I find with those videos?
Yeah.
They wake up the question man, and then just more questions lead to more questions. All right, so the sandbox land, yes, we have an interest in sandbox, but none of like the big blocks yet, correct?
Well, so we tried it. Yeah. So we were in that auction. So of course we own land in Sandbox, and we wanted to, like, we were in that last auction to get an estate. But the thing ran about, gosh, I want to say it ran to like $380,000 on the one that we were.
375 is the number that sticks out in my head for a 3x3, right?
Yeah. It was, yeah,
By
it was total garbage. We can definitely do better, and we've done this before in the real world, right? So we've done this. So we actually had a project where we had over 100 different lots, in land, and they were all in different, held by different families and different estates and different people all over the place, and we were consolidating them. I think we had, what did we start with, like 20 or something like that.
Yeah, we went to the first tax sale and picked up 10 or 20 of them, and then over the next 2 or 3 years, we picked up like 80 more of them. Yeah, we were playing Monopoly in a farm field, but
Yeah,
but
swapping.
like going through probate and everything else. And one day it'll end up in the book. You guys will enjoy it when we do the
We do the full how-to video of how to transfer your land into the metaverse or something.
Yeah, I feel like this is like, just as soon as I'm out, people keep dragging me back in. This is a question that needs to be answered. Can you restake your captain deck after NFT after the initial 180 days? Yes.
Yeah, it's always good, right? So you can roll it over, or you can stake it with something else. We're going to give it more utility too, so you'll be able to actually pair it with other things. And like I said, that it's going to give you different benefits too as we roll into new mints and new drops. So we'll explain all that. That's coming shortly as well.
All right, and that's it. That we're gonna have another AMA on Wednesday. A lot of good stuff happening. A lot of good stuff going on. And 7:30 Wednesday, I think, is still the time on that, right?
7:30 is always the best, and we'll try to do something earlier for our friends in Europe and stuff. And I know we have people starting, from forth, so we'll try to do some things a little earlier, and that'll probably wind up being more, kind of basic explaining anyway, and more affiliate based. So,
well, we got Craig off the bench now too, so that's going to be helpful. I think people can actually listen to these things and help put their kids to sleep. They can just listen to us talk for an hour and a half and cure insomnia.
Wait for the very end of those so you can hear Bo's disclaimer. Like, this is not best. Please do not
danger, Will Robinson, danger.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. All right. Have a great one. Thank you, everybody, and go win that Saitama because we want to give it to you.
Yeah. Have fun.
All information presented on this AMA, technical or otherwise, is subject to change with or without notice at any time. The information is meant to outline general plans and answer questions being asked in real time. As such, the information should not be relied on as the basis for token purchases.